So one thing that is funny about Helsinki, it's obviously very different, but at the same hand, I was surprised at how Americanized like big cities really are anywhere. So there were a lot of things that were really different and a lot of things that weren't so different. The plane ride over was awful. You know, it's like 13 hours to get across the Atlantic Ocean. You're in a suit, you're in a tie. I don't really sweat very much, and I was like sweating everywhere. And then there was a girl in front of us that had seen, well, I went there with 7 other missionaries at the time, which was a huge group at that point. And the girl in front of us was making fun of some of the other kids. She was like, oh, look, there's those annoying Mormons, and he's a dork, and, you know, he looks really funny in his shirt and tie. And me and my companion were sitting behind her just kind of laughing the whole time. But when I got to Finland, we were tired because none of us slept, but you're just so excited to finally be there that you don't really, I mean, I didn't sleep for like 2 days, you know. Anytime I feel humidity, because I'm from Idaho, it's a desert. Anytime I feel humidity, I feel like I'm back in Finland, because that was like one of my first experiences, was stepping off the plane and just being like, wow, it's so humid. And it smelled like the ocean too. So whenever I see the ocean, that's like automatically what I think of as Finland. The APs picked us up. They drove us around Helsinki. I took like probably 150 pictures of absolutely nothing because I was so excited, because the buildings tend to be a little different. There's cobblestone roads. The APs took us to go buy ice cream, and for some reason I had euros in my pocket. A family from my ward had sent me some euros, so I went and bought ice cream, and then we passed it around, and it's like there's 7 missionaries eating off of 1 ice cream cone, which is disgusting, you know, now that I think back to it. But it was black licorice ice cream, salmiakki, and anyway, that was like really most of my memories. I remember going to the mission president's home, and one of the things I loved about Finland is, even though it's Europe and you're in a city of 1 million people, it doesn't take very far, or it doesn't take very long to just get out of the city. So I've heard it's the least populated per capita country in Europe, and it's like the mission president's house, at the time at least, was like kind of back in the woods. There was a really nice lake there. It was really quiet. It was May, and so there were a lot of birds out. It didn't ever get dark that night. Our mission president sat us down and just told us all these awesome things, and I just remember being so excited. The other thing that was funny too is it was pretty warm during the day. You know, it was May, but by nighttime or by the morning time, it was absolutely freezing. So I did think that was kind of funny too. He had his back door open when we woke up to eat breakfast that first morning, and it was freezing, even though it was, you know, the end of May. I'm trying to think if I remember anything else. I remember going to Neitsupolku, which is where the mission home is, and it's like the nicest real estate in Finland, which is really funny. The church got it a long time ago, and it's right by the ocean. It's really nice. All the cars down there are like just incredible. You know, the mission president parks his car next to a Ferrari, next to a couple Porsches. So the building was super nice. Really old though, has a really unique, like old, nasty smell. We met our trainers, and I moved to Espoo, which I was actually pretty excited about. There's a lot of members in Espoo. Especially Espoo 2, the 2nd ward. My trainer seemed like he was a lot of fun. And that first week, I didn't really get to sleep because they had the European Collegiate like Olympics basically in the city that I was in, and we had volunteered to help serve with them, or to help out. And so for the first 2 nights, we did security. So we sat at the housing complex with all these kids and just watched them make fools out of themselves. And then we would go and either be like referees for games. We would help them get around Finland. I got put with the Serbian national basketball team. My trainer was 6'6". And obviously the Serbian national basketball team was massive. They had a 7-footer on their team. So I'm 6 feet tall, and I remember being the shortest person all day, every day, for, you know, the 3 days that we were with him for my first 3 days, because my trainer was actually the next shortest person at 6'6". So I still have some fun memories from that. After that, I was so tired that I like can literally say I think I slept for a whole day. my trainer kind of took the day. We took a P day off, and because I was jet lagged, I'd stayed up those 2 nights, and I slept for probably 14, maybe 15 hours, which I never did again. Right, never slept in again. But that was that one time I was just too tired to really do anything else.